Alrighty, so we're going on to the next slide. This is in part 2. And I like this next slide because, as somebody said in class, it looks like the Matrix. So if you've ever seen that movie. Pi. Here's why we have to approximate pi as 3.14 or use the pi button on our calculators. Because you would not have a very good time if you had to do long division or multiplication with this. And this is only a small fraction, really, of pi. It goes on forever, and supercomputers work around the clock to try to calculate up to millions and millions and millions of digits of pi, and they will never finish because it never terminates and never repeats. So this is pi. Obviously, we have to use some sort of approximation. Okay, so here's what we need to do. We always have to, oops, go away. We always have to estimate, stop, go away. We always have to estimate diameter and estimate circumference. When you're dealing with pi, it's a really good idea to do it. Always in math, estimate first, then calculate. So let's say we have a circle with a circumference of 27. So we've got this, I'll just draw a circle here, whoops. And let's say you want to then know what the diameter is, but you can't measure it directly, okay? So you're going to have to use what we know about the relationship between circumference and diameter to figure it out. And we have to use pi. So in estimating, though, I'm not going to use 3.14. That's just way too hard because I can't say, okay, 27 divided by 3.14. I can't do that mentally very easily. But I'm definitely not going to use actual pi because that's impossible for me. There are other tricks you can do to get pretty close. But for me, I think I'm going to estimate just saying pi equals around 3. So that squiggle equals here means approximately 3. And that's easy math. I can do that. Okay? And I can even, if this isn't a weird number, I can round it so that I can do the math very easily. So I can get an approximation. So since we know that diameter is equal to circumference divided by pi, then we know that the diameter is going to be about equal to the circumference divided by 3. And then we can just substitute. What do we know? We don't know d. We're solving for that. We do know c. So I can replace c with what I do know, 27. And now we have a problem we can solve. D is around equal to the circumference, 27, divided by 3. Or d is approximately equal to 9. Okay, so that's how you estimate. Estimate first. If you know the circumference is 27, just use pi equals around 3. 27 divided by 3 equals 9. Now what if you want to estimate circumference? Say you have a circle that has a diameter of 8 centimeters. So you're given the circle, and for some reason you have the diameter. The diameter is 8, but you can't measure the circumference. You can think of lots of real-life examples where this would be, like a pipe. You can't maybe reach or something like that, but the end is 8 centimeters across. I don't know. It's not a good example. Anyway, a circle has a diameter of 8 centimeters. Estimate the circumference. I'm not going to use 3.14. Maybe some of you can do that mentally, but I don't know if I can. And I'm definitely not going to use actual pi. So I'm going to say pi is approximately equal to 3. And since we know that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, then we know the circumference is around equal to 3 times the diameter, 3d. So then I can just say, okay, I know the diameter. It was given to me, and it's 8. So I'm going to replace d with 8. And I put brackets now so it doesn't look like 38, right? And so then I know d is going to be around equal to 24. C, mistake. C is going to be around equal to 24. The circumference is going to be equal to around 24. Okay? All right, let's go on to the next one. But so if you actually have to calculate, though, you're not going to use 3 because that will be pretty far off. Not too far off, but not close enough for engineering and things like that. So use a calculator. This is what calculators are built for. You want a calculator for calculating with pi. And it's okay. So we're going to do that in the last final installment. Sorry, it's taking me so long.